Hi, and welcome to this section on service exposition via REST APIs and messaging. So this first video is on building and versioning REST APIs with JAX-RS. So let's get started and open our IDE. As usual, I've prepared a Git branch for you to start, so make sure you check out the video 2.1 Git branch. Now when you want to version REST APIs, you basically have two choices. Either you do URL-based versioning or you do media type versioning. URL-based versioning is like the simpler one. So let's get started. So we create a first initial REST resource for that one. So create a class. We call that one version resource. Here we go. And for now then, copy this class body over here. So let's see what we do here. Well, first up, we have a request scope bean, we call that version resource. We have the resource context, which we're going to need later. And the initial path is version. And we now have a subpath of v1 for version 1 and a subpath of v2 for version 2. Both of these are sub-resource locators, so both of those return a class for handling the version. So let's create those classes. Create that one. We do the same for version 2. Okay, so let's start with version 1. So it's a very simple REST resource. So we're going to produce a media type application JSON, and it's also request scope. And as you see here, we're going to return a simple JSON object. We pretty much do the same for version 2. Again here, same here. Let's fix those imports. Okay, so this is version 2. So let's compile and deploy this one using Docker. I've prepared everything for you. And if we switch to REST console, we issue HTTP localhost 8080 API version v1. If we send this one, we get back version 1 in the response. And if we say get version v2, send, and we get version 2 back. So it's simple as that, right? So just include the major version of your API in the URL. Now this is all pretty simple. In my opinion, the more sophisticated way of versioning a REST API is using media types and content negotiation. So let's talk about this one. So let's create a new REST resource class. Let's fix those imports again. As request scope here. And we create a media type here. So if you have a look here, what we do is basically we create and specify a custom media type. And this is more convention here. So we say application /vnd version v1, and we say with the plus JSON that it's a JSON media type. So if you issue a GET request for media type with either application JSON or with this specific media type, then the version v1 will be returned. Now let's add a second media type and a second locator. So we say here it's a media type, and as you see here, the subtype, I now say it's VND version v2 in JSON. So whenever this media type is sent in the accept header, then we will issue and return the v2 response. So make sure you compile everything and redeploy everything using Docker. So let's get back to our Postman, to our REST client. So let's close doors. So here we say API/media type. We don't specify any headers in this case. So this will be the default, and we expect version 1 to be returned. So you see here, this is version 1, and this is the exact media type you're going to see here. Okay, so that's the content type returned here. What we can also do is explicitly specifying the accept header. We do that here. We say accept, we accept application JSON. If we send this one, again, we get version v1. And also here, the content type this case is application JSON. And if we want the version 2 to be returned, we explicitly specify the accept header and set it to the version 2 media type. And if we're going to send this one, then we get version 2 returned. So what we've just seen is how we can use media types and content negotiation to have a very convenient way of versioning your REST APIs in JAX-RS.